What's up, ladies and gents? Before we start off this video, which I know will help a lot of you guys out, especially free-to-play players, because this was done on the free-to-play account, don't forget the content creator program is still going on for season 8. We have 2 active codes that have been given out every single day for new supporters, and we have 2 more active codes on the way, which will give the existing supporters and new supporters a total of 4 codes. So if you guys have not done so, click that support button, support your boy. Remember to like, subscribe. Let's get on with the video. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another solo Leveling Arise video. Alright guys, all about Seorin. That's right, this is my free-to-play account. This is the first time I've summoned on a unit since Essel. I skipped 2 whole units, that's 2 whole months, to get this girl to A5, and it was worth every penny. No pun intended, there was actually no penny spent. It's a free-to-play account. It's worth every piece of Essence Stone. To this point, I'm back to almost 40k already from going from, I think it was a 22 or 23 to this point. Man, they've been really, really generous. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about Seorin, everything she's all about, the best gear, the best sets, her rotation, and why she's an amazing unit. Now, I have talked about this already before. She is a little bit incomplete, and by this I mean her purpose is not completely there yet, because the new CHA that's coming out, the multiverse CHA that's coming out in May as the 1-year anniversary, which already been confirmed by Netmarble, will be the complementary unit to Seorin, or Seorin will be her complementary unit, right? Seorin right now is probably the best breaker in the game, and I want to talk everything about why she is, how you want to equip, what you want to equip, and how you want to use her overall. Okay, so first off, her weapon. Let's just go through this real quick. Increases user's HP by 12%, increases the user's missile damage by 100%. Now, this apparently is the first missile, not all the missiles. I don't know if that's a bug or how it's supposed to be, because the fact that it uses the word missile rather than missiles. So we'll see how that one goes. We'll see what Netmarble says, but this is definitely a weapon you want to have if you are going to build her as a DPS, especially. You can use other weapons, of course, but ideally, at the end of the day, you do want Melody of Iron and Blood in there, and it will help you guys push out some more damage. Now, what the beauty of her is, outside of the fact that she looks incredible, is the fact that she is actually a great DPS as well as a breaker, and we'll talk more about that as well. Now, where do you want to push her? Now, if you are a free-to-play player, and you are saving for char, you just don't have the Essence Stones, A3 is ideally where you want to stop, especially if you just want to use her as more of a support unit. But if you want to use her more of a DPS and full potential, you of course want to push her to A5. And you guys can see here, I have done so as well in order to push the limits of what she brings to the game as a breaker. And not only that, but also as a DPS and support, right? So A5 ideally is where you want to go. Now, you guys can see her skill guided rotation is pretty straightforward here. When using their core attack, basic skills, or QTE, the Hunter fires pinpoint missiles that upon hitting will inflict the Sub-Zero effect, which increases the water damage taken by the opponent. Additionally, when the user successfully puts an enemy into the break state, the limited break effect boosts their own performance significantly, making them capable of taking an offensive role. So when you do a basic rotation with her, you want to do skill 1, which is a motorcycle skill, into the core, into the ultimate skill, into basic skill 2. When you have a break in place, keep in mind at a certain point you're going to get the ultimate skill up right away. So ideally you want to do this here in terms of leveling of order. You go this skill first, this skill second, this skill third, and then the core after that, and then you go basic skill, QTE, etc. right? So you guys can see which ones to level up in what order. So it is right here for you, and it's extremely accurate, guys. So follow this to a T. Now, the cool thing about her, based on her advancements, is going to be the following passives, okay? And I want to go over this. Whenever she puts somebody in the break state itself is increased by 3 seconds. Keep that in mind. So you're going to be doing more damage right away. And then also the pinpoint missiles will also, as mentioned, will deal water damage equal to 150% of Seorin's max HP. She shoots 4 of them at A0, doing the Sub-Zero effect, which increases the water damage taken by an opponent taken by 1%, lasting for 30 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. So you get 10% more water damage, of course, by her and anyone who's a water unit. Now, if you go to A1, you get the overtake effect here, which increases break effectiveness by 50%, but decreases damage dealt by 30%. But when the limited break effect is active, you get something better. You decrease the break effectiveness, but you're increasing the amount of damage you do by 30%. Your missiles do, your missile does 30%. You increase your critical hit damage by 30%. When the limited break effect is removed, it activates overtake. Okay, so it goes back and forth between the two of them. Now, keep in mind also, this is a 120-second duration, so it's going to be there for quite some time. Now, when you go to A2, the Ice Shard Magnum or Glacier Spin now fires 4 missiles at once. And then when you go to A3, you get the Black Tea effect here, which the entire team takes advantage as soon as you enter. That increases defense by 20%, increases max HP by 20%. Now, this applies to all units, not just water team. Okay, that's the beauty here. It's not just the water team. But A4, the water team will increase the water damage done by 10%, stacking up to 3 times for every water unit in the team. And then, of course, A5, the Sub-Zero and limited effects are enhanced, giving your, first off, your missile 100% chance to crit. Crit damage increased by 30%, and now your water damage is increased by 2%, stacking up to 10 times rather than 1%, and all your damage increased from 30% to 50%. So overall, insane amount of damage. Now, if you're a starter player, you're probably going to want to start with the Greed set first, or AP's Greed is probably the best set, currently allowing everybody to do more crit and crit damage, and of course, allowing her break moves to do more damage. But if you're going to become an advanced player, and you have the actual set for it, you want to move over to the Chaotic Desire helmet set, which will increase the amount of elemental damage done by you and your team, plus giving your break effect skills a lot more damage. So ideally you want to move over to this set at the end of the day to help push the damage outcome for her. So those are the 2 current best sets in the game for her when it comes down to being usable. Okay, of course her main skill and stats you want to go focus on is going to be HP first, then crit rate, then crit damage, and then you want to put damage increase as much as you possibly can to boost the amount of damage she does. Try to equal out these 2 if you can at 20 and 20%, but more damage increase matters, of course, when it comes down to her. Now, the best team to use her on right now is going to be Alicia, Mei Lin, and her. But once Cha comes out, Alicia will be replaced, and it'll be Mei Lin, it's going to be Seorin, and it's going to be Cha. Now, the reason why Mei Lin, many of you keep forgetting this, and I have to always remind people here, is the fact that Mei Lin actually ends up having the ability to increase defense as well. You guys can see defense by 8% there, and you guys can see if you go to A5, defense gets increased even further here by 16%, so you get a big bonus, plus the A2 also increases attack and defense as well. So these 2 are going to be Cha's critical components, so it's going to definitely be Mei Lin, it's going to definitely be Cha, and it's definitely going to be Seorin. Now remember, the Seorin to Cha thing is all rumors. We don't know if the leaks decide to change themselves and things are completely different, but so far, that's the way it's looking for everybody. Now, when it comes down to cores, make sure that you go for additional HP right over here, crit hit rate over here, additional defense, damage increase, or crit hit damage, and then over here, you want to go for additional attack, plus, again, if you can push additional crit damage or damage increase, that's kind of what you want to go for. Doesn't matter what you have here. Yeah, ideally, you want to have this core one. Increases the critical damage of your core attacks by 20%. That's what we're going to be trying to aim for here, or you can do this one here. When using their ultimate skill, the critical hit damage increases by 20% for 8 seconds. Both of those are going to work really well for her, because when she does break, she gets her ultimate damage right away. So let's go into a combat system and show you guys what I'm talking about there when I say that. So let's go into Battlefield of Trials. Let's pick a boss here that for the hunters that actually has a break bar. So let's go to floor 60, right? I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. When you do break her at a certain point, she does have the ability to use her ultimate right away, and you absolutely want to do that. Now, remember, her skills are going to be used at a certain point in a certain way. So for example, when you use skill 1, you ideally want to use it when the enemy is attacking, because you get yourself your extreme evasion right up, right? So that's going to be one of the main things for her. First off, best entrance in the game by far. All right, so let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. So let's just jump into the battle. Now, you'll see when I use skill 1, I'm going to rev it all the way, but I'm going to wait till the opponent is about to attack so I can take advantage of that extreme evasion. Watch this. See, look, right there, right? Look at that extreme evasion right there. That's what I'm referring to. So when you break this opponent, right, here's a core attack. You're going to want to do the bike. Now, look what happens when you break. Watch. When we break this opponent, we obviously missed that attack, but there you go. Look, the ultimate's up now. You want to cast your ultimate right away. Do the missile hits, right? Again, rev, core, skill 1. And look at that. We already got 10 stacks worth of that up and running, right? So it's going to be very important. Now, she's a super fast attacker, guys. So keep that in mind as well, too, that her attacks are going to be coming in hot and fast and heavy. So there you guys go. Bringing Mei Lin for a little bit more water damage. Now, Alicia, of course, gets the ultimate advantage here. We get 20% more water damage from Seorin, and we also got more water damage now with Alicia's buff along the way as well. Okay, we're going to bring Seorin in again. Right, we're going to do all of our skills here. Extreme evasion. He's going to come back up, and we're going to go ahead and just shoot. Right, you guys can see the break is up now. We're going to go ahead and break him here. We're going to see another pinpoint missiles, and this does almighty break. Remember, your ultimate will do almighty break for you, so don't forget that. We're going to rev. Go ahead in there again. We can see here we're doing just a ton of damage with her. And again, bringing Mei Lin, more water damage again. and Alicia here to finish the job. All right, so you guys can see that's the rotation you want to run with. So she is going to bring a lot of crit damage, guys. She's going to bring a lot of break abilities, and she's going to make your team that much better. Now, when Cha does come out, you're going to see the full potential of this girl, and I hope that they don't mess that up, because I think a lot of people did pull for her in order to make their Cha, when she is available, a much better overall unit. And I think Netmarble won't disappoint. At least I hope they won't disappoint, because we're all looking forward to seeing what that new Cha has to bring to the table and Seorin's full potential being unlocked. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.